Back in late 2016, following the first announcement of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo was shopping around to third parties to try and find exclusivity content for this new platform. And obviously, Nintendo approached Valve, and we've already talked about the game that Valve at one point was developing for the Nintendo Switch, called Half-Life Tactics. What we haven't discussed was what Nintendo told Valve about the future life of the Switch, everything they intended on doing at least at the time, and exactly what the audience can expect from Nintendo in the coming years. Specifically, Nintendo spoke about Switch redesigns, and we're going to be talking about everything Nintendo told Valve back in 2016. Here we go.
Whoa!
So check out these amazing graphics. Have you seen anything like this? This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Introducing Raid Shadow Legends. Playing Raid is the most immersive experience you'll find on a smartphone, and it can only really be compared with the biggest PC and console titles. And the best part? It's totally free. Raid has all the features you'd expect from a brand new RPG title, like an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to customize and collect. Raid is getting big real fast, so get in early. Starting now will give you a huge head start. There's also an upcoming special launch tournament with crazy in-game prizes and real-life physical prize packs. So go to the description of the video now and download Raid only through my links to get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic champion as part of the new player program, courtesy of the dev team. See you there. In late October of 2016, Nintendo approached Valve for a closed-door meeting regarding the Nintendo Switch. The Switch had just been announced in its first trailer after many months of people guessing exactly what it was. During this meeting, Nintendo showed off an early version of Super Mario Odyssey, specifically in a forest level, as it was described. This game was described in a way to me back in late 2016 before any real information was out there about the game that pretty much verified the rest of the information. So the early version of Mario Odyssey, some Unity demo to show off the graphical capabilities of the Nintendo Switch, along with giving Nintendo 3 development units and 3 retail units along with a big box of cartridges. Nintendo wanted an exclusive Half-Life title, and even though Valve did start prototyping, it never really got past that stage. Nintendo also told Valve that if the Switch does well, which at this point Nintendo had no idea, they might release a Switch Lite, a much cheaper, cost-effective version of the Switch that does not have the removable controllers and instead can be sold for the cheapest price possible. And they also talked about how the software for this newer, Lite version of the Switch would be compatible with the normal version of the Switch, but not all software for the full version of the Switch would be compatible with the Lite version. Nintendo also saw the Switch as a third pillar, just like they saw the DS as a third pillar against the GameCube and Game Boy Advance. This Switch, obviously, has been a massive success, and the 3DS is slowly being put to the side. The Switch is the only pillar. Now, exactly what Nintendo meant by not all games compatible with the normal Switch would be compatible with the Switch Lite made zero sense to me, until I started asking around and realized that they're not talking about software capabilities. The Switch Lite could very well be download only, and so cartridges may not run on it, but you can download any of the games on the eShop. Lacking a cartridge slot and removable controllers could very much drive the price down. However, the few pictures of a Switch Lite leak does not sound like what was described. It's going to be smaller, more ergonomic, and cut corners wherever so that the cost can be as low as possible, just like the 2DS when that launched back in 2014. What's interesting now is Nintendo has officially announced that at E3 2019 there will be no hardware announcements, and other press outlets have gotten information on the Switch Lite and a Switch Pro, something that I know nothing about. However, Nintendo has been discussing this Switch Lite since at least 2016 and has always been a part of their long-term plan if the Switch was successful, and it's been successful. So expect a much smaller 2DS-style redesign for the Nintendo Switch coming either this year or next year, and it will only be compatible with some Nintendo Switch software. Whether or not that means download only or really just means some cartridges won't run, we'll have to see. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve and Nintendo News Network. Have a good day. Adios.